Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Fox here with CCS, bringing you the 2025 Fall CCS Championship. I am personally filling in for our boy Nation, who is not able to make it until the 10 p.m. series tonight, but do not fret. I will do my best to give you the greatest show that I can and put on a performance for the ages, at least in terms of casting. And something that these two teams, Ball State and Quinnipiac, are going to be wanting to do is put on a performance of their own tonight as well. Because a slot in the top 32 of the CCS Championship is up for grabs. This is officially the round of 64 bracket. That means if you win your series, you're in, you move on. If you lose your series, you're done. It's basically our own little version of March Madness, but here in Rocket League. And it is cold outside for a different reason. It's fall, it's not early spring, so. Alright, we have both teams in the lobby. And right on time, nice and prompt, that's what you like to see. Let me make sure both teams are good to start, and then if they are, then we will get things rolling nice and on time here for an 8 p.m. kickoff. All right. There we go. Everybody is ready. We are ready. I hope you guys are ready, because it is officially time to get this evening of what should be quite a bit of fun Rocket League here in the CCS playoffs underway. Bringing you 5 series tonight. Should be lots of fun, lots of excitement. But before any of that, we start with the first series, and it is the Cardinals of Ball State. They are facing down the Bobcats of Quinnipiac. One slot is available, and a best of 7 is how we are going to get there, guys. Buckle up, sit back, and enjoy this one. The CCS Fall Championship begins now. The classic wheel wiggles from Slugger. He was ready to go, and we are underway. Welcome aboard, and hope you guys will sit back and enjoy the first installment of a 5-series night here for CCS. Ball State rocking the blue on your screen. In the orange, the Quinnipiac Bobcats. Both teams with various streams of success up until this point in the season, but that doesn't matter anymore. Your regular season no longer matters. You make it to the round of 64, all you have to do is win and keep going. So the task is simple. Do your best and beat your opponent. That is all that is left for you to do. And a nice save here as Yags is going to put this one up. Phoebes kind of sticking their nose in Yags' business, however, do get the ball, and this one's going to drop down. Favorable bounce in Yags. Although he got the ball taken away by Phoebes, he gave it right back. And that's going to be the goal number 1. There as the 50 there off of Pyro. Not exactly what he would have hoped for. It's going to be a 1-0 start for the Cardinals as BSU strike first. Again, if you're just joining us, don't go anywhere because we have got series all night long. Nation will be joining us and hopping into the production booth later on at 10 p.m. I will be casting that series with him, and then he will carry you the rest of the night. And now, speaking of carry, how about this carry towards the goal mouth? Slugger can't get a piece, and Yags is going to get another goal in his name as he arrives just in time. It's Ultor off the backboard, forcing Slugger's hand, and that is going to force him out of goal, and Yags will put it home. The advantageous Ball State Cardinals off to a 2-0 start here. Apologies for bumping my microphone arm. Let me get that adjusted real quick. And we've got a very fast start for Ball State here in the opening game on Man Field of this round of 64. There's going to be a demo eliminating one of the Bobcats off the field. However, they're ready to try and put it right back in. Another demo this time. It's going to wipe out the backfield pressure And those demos, you can see it opened up a lot of time and space for Ball State to get their resources, get their act together. And the chances there for the Bobcats were pretty much wiped out with said demos. The Bobcats not done yet. That's a beautiful touch towards midfield. That one's going to go wide, though. Altor's got the clear. It's going to be up for Phoebes. Team passing play. They try to connect the dots and do. Only thing that didn't quite result from that was a shot on target, as the Bobcats do survive. They'll outlet the zone. Now it's Pyro towards goal, forcing Phoebes into a save. Not sure if that was destined for the goalpost or not. Didn't matter. Phoebes made sure to leave no doubt. So now we've got a 50-50. No, it's going to be a wifty-wifty, as Pyro does eventually get the touch. This ball forced towards midfield. Slugger keeps it in the corner, trying to chip and chase. His own touch forced Ultor into a challenge, but Ultor passed with flying colors. Will send this ball down. Pyro dumps it to his own corner, trying to play the possession game, and Slugger's got it. Nice touch over the first man. Second man arrives. It is Yags, who has seemingly been in the right place at the right time. That ball is saved away, though. Not sure who that hit in that calamity of players, but it does stay out of the Quinnipiac goal. That's good for them. However, the problem is that they've not pierced the Ball State net as of yet. The Cardinals still with that 0 on their side of the score sheet, but a 3 now on the offensive side, as Ball State will strike again. It's Phoebes setting up Yags off the back wall, and the multiple man pressure just throwing off the Bobcats there in defense. It's tough when you've got repeated waves of pressure, and Ball State crashed that goal in unison. It's going to be a tough start here for Quinnipiac. A 3-0 deficit with just about 2 minutes to play on Manfield. Yags in the midfield tries to find Ultor. Slugger said no, but now a rebound falls right to Phoebes. Flick tried to get it, but the defense coming from behind by Thwack. Not said his name too terribly much this game, but that was a good save out of him. He'd love to get more involved with the offense. Try and get he and his team on the comeback trail. As Thwack with a 50 has found Slugger, who opts to go for Pyro. That one's going to be knocked around a few times. Ending on the sidewall, Ultor's got the touch, gets taken right away from him. It's going to be a double fake, as 3 players unable to find that touch. This one's a dangerous ball right in front of the Quinnipiac goal. The Bobcats do opt out. Hope you guys are having a wonderful night thus far. Hope your night is doing as well as the Ball State offense is doing, as it's Ultor now with a great play, just able to bully his way through all defensive players. The boost total's not exactly where Quinnipiac would have wanted them, and Ball State have come out of the gates flying, quite literally, true to the Cardinal nature. Right now they have left the Bobcats on the ground, wondering how the heck they're going to try and catch these high-flying Cardinal team, as that one's going to be another shot on target. Thwack having to save it, but the rebound is put right back in. All the pressure, all the momentum belongs to Ball State right now, as the Cardinals are looking to make a statement in Game 1. A 4-0 deficit facing the Bobcats here with just under a minute to go. You have to be thinking perhaps this is already in garbage time. Based on the way that this game has gone, there's a demo does not result in too much. But you have to probably imagine that this is go next territory for both teams. However, Quinnipiac would love to get there first, and right on cue, it is Thwack with an attack right into the net, as Yags here got a little bit too careless with his touch there. Kind of flopped off of the roof of his Finnick and ended up being a turnover right in front of goal, and Thwack says, "Thank you so much." I do not believe that will result in a huge detriment towards the final score, but it does give Quinnipiac a bit of confidence. That opening goal can do a lot for the stress, to eat that stress away. That comes from either playing on stream or, of course, playing with your season on the line. But the final seconds ticking away here. We have found ourselves a victor in Game 1. Ball State off and running early. Another goal is going to go in for Pyro. So the offense for Quinnipiac starting to click here just a little bit. Another bad touch there from the Ball State team. It is Phoebes who went for the bump. Pyro just goes right around him. Takes that ball away, and that's going to be second goal. And Quinnipiac, just like that, they have been advantageous in this final minute, putting on a couple goals. And should feel pretty good, as I think we disconnected. I guess we did disconnect. So anyway, we'll go ahead and end the game. And we will give the win deservedly to Ball State. And I will try to get things figured out when it comes to the server. Yep, it does look as though the server did crash. So give me just a second on that one, guys. What a time for the server to crash. However, it did not exactly matter. The final outcome of the game was decided by that point. Luckily, it wasn't in overtime or something when that happened. So, 4-2, your final in-game number 1. All right. Terribly sorry. What a what a kind of a buzzkill there at the end of that game. For an ending to be decided by a faulty Rocket League server, but that's what you get with Rocket League, unfortunately, these days. The server's not exactly where they should be in terms of where they, you know, the connection, the stability. Let the boys know that they are ready to join when they are ready. And I will update the series score here in just a second. Alright, game number 2. We are off and running. After a bit of a weird event there at the end of that game, but we're good to go. So now, we do that. That should put the Ball State victory on the board, and almost getting on the board were Quinnipiac. The Bobcats there with a little bit of a floater for Pyro to put towards goal. It was close. Okay, Pyro just off the mark, though. And now this one's going to be dropped to the corner. Quinnipiac trying to play the possession game. Ultor has other ideas towards the net mouth. Ball State do, unfortunately, go back to their own zone as Quinnipiac with a sturdy defensive play there. Keeps the Cardinals out after we saw the Cardinals put up 4 unanswered goals in Game 1 before finally Quinnipiac did get a couple of their own. Right now for the Bobcats, it would be a monumental feat to get the lead and be able to play with the lead for the first time in the series. But thus far, nothing going much for either team offensively in Game 2. Very good defensive play from both sides, limiting the amount of chances here in the opening minute and some change. So we've got Thwack trying to be a nuisance there in the corner. Pyro 50s with Phoebes. That touch from Slugger, he had no chance because he got bumped right off that ball. Now this one, gonna be dropped to Ultor. Good 50 there as the third man had gotten taken out by Yags. Bobcats were down to 2 defenders, and it was the first man with good pressure that alleviates that chance. And now a shot dropped down by Thwack. There's your lead, your first lead, that is, for Quinnipiac, and it's the Bobcats. A beautiful set and spike. It is Slugger with the pass, and Thwack with the shot. Little drop down under the defense into the net. We've got ourselves a 1-0 lead this time for the Bobcats. It might not be, might be short-lived as here come Ball State, the Cardinals, right back in that shot. You got to see it from behind the net. It was Pyro with the save. Now it's going to be a corner ball fought for. Both teams committing some resources, trying to get possession. This is going to be a dangerous waterfall as Yags had the chance, but his second touch does hit off the bar. Now a rebound opportunity. Yags is going to be waiting for this one in the corner as his teammate opts to go for him. Here he is with a flip reset. Tries to go for the passing play. It was there, but Ultor does get thwarted by Mr. Thwack, who's there again, but now he's out of boost. So now Quinnipiac needs someone else to step up to the defensive plate, and it was Pyro to opt to the midfield zone. Now a 50-50. Trying to find any sort of time and space. Both these teams are right in each other's face. There's not really a whole lot here on Forbidden Temple as free time and space is coming at a premium. Quinnipiac has definitely locked in here for Game 2. A much better start to this game than Game 1. Now Slugger does get beaten there, but that is a double commit. A couple resources in awkward positioning. One of them gets demoed. Doesn't matter. Good save there. Sending the ball out into the Bobcat zone for Pyro to clear. Ultor, what are you going to do? You've got two men facing you down. It's going to be Pyro in first. Here comes Thwack as well. Off the sidewall, gets past the first man. Where's the third man? He's in the net. Yags was hiding, trying to avoid any bumps, and he does. Makes the save, but now it's Ball State having some difficulty dealing with this Quinnipiac offense as we go back and forth in this opening series of our Evening of Rocket League here on this CCS channel. Ultor, flip reset, his pop. Not really too much. Yags does get a follow-up, but it's not going to end up with too terribly many options, as this one's going to be a turnover in front. That was something that Quinnipiac lived off of with their 2 goals in Game 1. Were those turnovers by Ball State. Now it's going to be Phoebes towards goal, and it's on target and in. Thwack could not get back in time. And the response that Ball State needed, it is a great pass forward, and Phoebes touches it towards goal, and with no ability to make that save, Thwack had to watch it rain down that airstrike right atop his head. So now a 1-1 affair here in Game 2. If you're just joining us, there was a server malfunction at the end of Game 1, but it did end up being a 4-2 outcome for Ball State. That's how we got here with the 1-0 series lead. But here in Game 2, it's been much harder fought, very tightly contested between these two sides. So it's going to be a wifty out of the side. Ultor's got a chance to play. Flick over one, second man gets met there with a sturdy challenge out of Pyro. Now it's going to be the Bobcats trying to find an opening. It gets closed down immediately by the Cardinals. Now they're trying to launch a counter. Back and forth we go. It's like a tug of war, and neither team wants to give an inch here in Game 2. Nice little fake out there by Ultor. Does opt to go for the sidewall now. Pops it up. He can potentially win the game here if he can get this ball through the defense, but Quinnipiac stands their ground. Keeps it out, but not quite done yet, as they will try to end this in regulation. Will Ball State. Here come the Cardinals. The ball dropped down. No shooter. And we head to overtime. So some fun Rocket League both ways. Both teams have had their chances here in game number 2. But we are tied at 1. Now with OT. Golden goal territory. Slugger. Not many options there. Does get his pocket picked by Phoebes, but they're out of boost. We'll have to try and 50 that one away, but taken away by Quinnipiac. Bobcats back the other way. This is a lot of what we've seen. A lot of north-south gameplay between these two teams. Shot by Phoebes just wide off the side of the net. But it feels like going from defense to offense is second nature to these two. As you might be in your opponent's zone, next thing you know it, you got a shot headed right for your own net. Speaking of a shot headed towards net, Yags is going to try. Drop down off the waterfall. Slugger will pitch it to the corner. Now nice play here by Thwack, forcing the hand of Phoebes up. Goes for the Psycho. Got it. Not on target, but it was a beautiful play regardless. Does end up in the hands of the Bobcats. Thwack drop down. Passing play is thwarted, as Ultor got there just in time to stop Slugger's bid towards the game winner. Good save out of Ultor, but the Bobcats not done yet. Yags will have to reach up and get this one. A Bobcat did get demoed there. It's a shot towards goal. Double tap, not on. Missing the goal wide on both occasions, the first and the second shot. But both teams have had their chances to end this game in overtime, rather. After being unable to end it in regulation, now a steal in front. Ball State, wide open goal. Ultor will be the benefactor of the great play out of Yags. It is Slugger dribbling. He had no more boost to 50 Yags. That means Yags had an open lane towards goal. And that is going to be how the game comes to a close, as the Cardinals open up with a 2-0 series lead here in the opening series of our evening. So a much tougher task there for Ball State to have to deal with Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac played a very good, solid game. It comes down to the minor details. Slugger, if he had more boosts there, he 50s. And the challenge on Yags sends that ball elsewhere instead. It is a perfect pass out of Yags, who finds Ultor for the game winner. And that is how we head to DFH Stadium with a 2-0 lead for the Cardinal. We will head to DFH Stadium.
2, 1, go!
Counted down by Shogun himself. And hopefully this is not the beginning of the countdown for the Bobcat season. At least the folks in Quinnipiac are hoping so. As a 2-0 series lead here in Game 3 for Ball State has been open. This ball dropped down towards the corner. Slugger is there. He's causing all sorts of chaos. Does eventually just fall to Ultor, who goes for a pass to Yags, trying to return the favor that he gave him in overtime in Game 2 to win it, but unable to do so. Ultor with a good steal, opting to send it right back, return to sender style. Was Quinnipiac, but Yags is there. Great pass. He's found Ultor. That shot needs to be double tapped. It is! And Ultor with a thing of beauty. Off the backboard, it is Yags going over to Ultor. First touch, so heavy, so high, needs to be double tapped, drop down, score. Ball State and Ultor. He got the game winner in Game 2. He's got the opening goal in Game 3, and it was a beautiful shot. Great control out of the Cardinal. The Cardinals now opening a 1-0 lead here in Game 3. Things are going to start to slowly pool towards that, as another double tap. This time it's Yags, and that same part of the net has been attacked twice now. It's Ultor finding Yags. He gives him back the pass. These two are on fire. And Ball State, bang, bang. Literally, bang, bang, double tapping, double scoring. Ultor and Yags, a goal and an assist apiece, and here comes Ultor yet again. Middle of your screen, flip reset, goes for the backboard. He and Yags do get denied as the angle got shut down, but a all-out assault right now on the Bobcat goal. And here comes Ultor yet again. He's going to be stopped by Pyro. Quinnipiac trying their best to hang on, but the offense has come to life here for Ball State. After struggling so mightily in Game 2 for most of that game. This one's going to be touched towards goal. Ultor will get credit for it. As a touch here by Yags, it does get bounced off the back wall, and actually an own goal. Ultor will finish the job. But an unfortunate touch there for Ball State, or Quinnipiac rather, that does fall in the fortune of Ball State. The Bobcats right now, that is not what you needed. After a brilliant couple of opening goals out of the Cardinals. Ultor, how about a musty flick adding on to it? Does get denied by Slugger, but right now the Bobcats are looking a little bit dazed and confused as Quinnipiac try to fight to keep their season alive. If they do not find a way to score at least 3 here in Game 3, it will be a series point for 1 to 4 games for them. And that is not something you want to do against a Ball State team who are finding their sea legs in this series. That's going to be a steal for Ultor. It's high off the crossbar. That bounce might have saved a goal for the Bobcat, as it does get sent away to the corner. About halfway gone here in game number 3. A touch off of Yags. Finds Phoebes, trying to get involved any way they can. It's been the Ultor and Yags show. Speaking of the Yags show, here he is. He's got Ultor. And the two of them cannot seem to miss each other. As Yags, off the roof, fakes that he's going to touch it. Instead, lets Ultor take it in a little tiny cheeky flip reset. Puts the ball into the net. And Ball State, again, right on cue. Great goal. Phoebes is there to stop that. Bid from Quinnipiac. A little team bump there as Yags got bumped. It'll be sent now to the corner. Now pop fly, Slugger off the back wall. Needs some help, and he did get it. It was thwack there, but it does end up being saved away. As now Ball State, all they really have to do by this point is play some defense, up 4-0 with 2 minutes to go. And Quinnipiac right now, they're looking for answers. They did score 2 in the final minute of game 1, so they can score some in a hurry, but they're going to have to score at least 5 because Phoebes has finally got himself on the board. Ultor and Yags have been doing it all. This time, the two of them end up passing the ball for Phoebes to have a tap-in. So they're still very much involved in the play, but Phoebes does get the goal, says thank you guys. Share the spotlight just a little bit. And Ball State, well, that's going to be a rough kickoff as Thwack gets one back. Offset kickoff. It's a miss there out of, I believe, Ultor and Phoebes actually collided with one another. A tough outcome on whatever kickoff strategy they were trying to implement. A freebie there for Quinnipiac, however, that only trims the deficit to 4. Needs to be a lot closer to start making this Ball State team think about things, because they are on cruise control at the moment. It's up to the Bobcats to try and find a way to answer this. Now sent forward by Slugger. He's got his teammate Thwack chasing, but Phoebes was up to meet him. Phoebes keeping the shooter honest, and it's Pyro able to tip that one up and over everybody. Quinnipiac back on the board as well. You can see Pyro able to go under Phoebes, sends it up and over the diving play there by the defender on the back wall, and Quinnipiac have gotten themselves a second goal. For some reason, Quinnipiac know how to score a lot in a hurry. This is dangerous. It's put towards goal. It had to be Ultor playing that one away, and then he will get knocked into the scrap heap. Off the demo. This one's dangerous as well, off the crossbar. Ball State unable to capitalize there, though. And now Phoebes, over 1, goes to the corner. Has got all sorts of players chasing him from both teams. Finally, it'll get dug out there by Quinnipiac, and now it's Pyro, keeping Yags honest defensively. Knocked away now. Yags has got it, but not for long. Thwack is there to take it right away. Quinnipiac, they could get one more. They start to make things a little more interesting. They are still down by 3, and they might get it here. Shot on goal is in. And Thwack will continue to chip away at this 5-0 lead that the Cardinals opened up. Just like that, you blink, it's 5-3. And Ball State's lead is starting to slowly but surely erode away. Just like the Bobcats. It's like a scratching post. Keep clawing, keep fighting, keep whittling away this lead, and you might have yourselves a comeback, but you still got work to do here, down by 2. Ball State has fallen into a very heavily defensive structure in the second half of this game. It has allowed Quinnipiac a chance to breathe, get the ball out of their zone, and force it offensively, and getting a couple goals here. But they're still down by 2, and time is not on their side. It is running out quickly. This one's going to be off the goalpost, but Ball State does end up withstanding the comeback attempts. One more for the road, not quite, knocked away, and this one is headed for Game 4 with a chance for the Cardinals to close out the Bobcats. Quinnipiac on series point. Their season will be on the line. And finally, as soon as the ball touches the floor, we will be able to see how the Bobcats handle a little bit of adversity thrown their way. The Cardinals, they had a 5-0 lead at some point in that game. You figured maybe that was enough to beat Quinnipiac, but the fight in the Bobcats never faltered. They fought back, got within a couple goals there, but they will have to unfortunately go to Utopia Coliseum down by 3 in the series. We'll have to see if the Cardinals can close out the deal here, or will the Bobcats force Game 5? Welcome aboard. Game number 4 underway. Still don't know why that pops up in the corner now with the overlay, but it does. So it's there for just a moment, then I will hide it away. As game 4 gets underway, dangerous touch! Almost ends up in the back of the Cardinals' net, but it's a good save out of Ultor, who has been incredible for the Cardinals. He and Yags combined for a plethora of goals, including a couple really nice double taps last game. And Ultor also with the game winner in game 2, which was the closest game of this series. A game that at this point feels like it needed to be a must-win for Quinnipiac. My goodness, goes for the double tap! I don't think the man who touched it got it as he got demoed. Slugger puts it up. And it was actually Phoebes who went for the double tap. I thought that was a Quinnipiac player. It was actually Phoebes who was trying his best to try and fend that one off the goal. He got demoed. And it was Thwack who ended up getting the goal. Got a little confused there as Phoebes is in the NRG decal. It's very orange. But that would have been an insane double tap had it happened. Either way, it's a mistake. Something that Quinnipiac has done very well is take advantage of any amount of time and space or mistake that Ball State has thrown their way. The main problem is that Ball State's offense has been one rung of the ladder higher every single game this series. Now Ultor, great pass. Phoebes has to fake, no boost. He actually faked out Pyro there. Okay, Pyro out of the corner. He'll leave it for his good buddy there. Actually ends up getting it himself. Slugger opting to stay down on the ground, waiting for that ball. It'll be Thwack to clear. Not very far, though, as Ball State. Sloppy play there, just about had a passing attempt, but the touch was a little too soft for him. We'll head on back into the Bobcat zone. Here comes a chance off the back wall. Slugger able to get it around the first man pressure. Now Ultor, look out, he's going to go for a psycho. Actually has thrown the ball away again. And the backboard touches here for Ball State. Another turnover ends up in their net. As Ultor went for the psycho-style touch, it doesn't happen, and it's actually a goal off the turnover there. And Quinnipiac have found life, courtesy of a couple of missed touches out of the Ball State Cardinals squad. Now, how about a third? Not quite. That one's going to be forced wide, but not too far wide. Quinnipiac starting to get a little bit of downhill momentum, it feels like. After those goals go in, having a 2-0 lead in a do-or-die game always feels good. But we'll have to see how this game transpires. A attempt there at a play ends up falling right to Ultor. Now this one popped up. Chance here. Off the backboard goes Yags. This time he went for the correct backboard. Unfortunately for him, Thwack had seen enough of that, sent that ball packing. Now this one's going to have to be reached up and touched away by Phoebes. Good play there. A couple of occasions. As Phoebes will clear. But possession is not something you can expect for long here, as both teams are throwing players at one another in a very quick fashion. You see Slugger took that one away. He's got Phoebes ready to 50 him right there. I mean, you could see a good example. You think possession is not a favorable resource right now to count on. Any touch, any chance you get needs to be taken advantage of, and the Bobcats shot there does get denied. Good save. Ball State not done yet. Here come the Cardinals, but not enough resources to fend off the duo of defenders in Quinnipiac Orange. Shot towards goal by Ultor, just like that. Came right at your computer screen or your phone screen, whatever you're watching. As Yags off the backboard, he and Ultor combine again. That duo has another goal and assist. And the Quinnipiac lead has been sliced right in half. It's a weird situation here, as both Quinnipiac goals have come from Ball State mistakes off their own backboard. So a 2-0 deficit that feels like the Cardinals have dug themselves into. Now the question becomes, can they dig themselves out of it? As Ultor with a flip reset carries it all the way to the back wall, but it does get fended off. Here's Phoebes now, opts to go for the possession game with Yags. He's got it. Great play off the ceiling, ends up drop down pass there. Returned it to Phoebes, but the shot does get denied. Beautiful play. Just didn't quite work out. Now Ultor, his flip reset, thwarted by Thwack. Rebound attempt for Yags. It's wide. Slugger unable to land as Pyro was underneath him. Now Ultor gets the ball. Bumped away from the play. Chance here for Phoebes to cause a little chaos. He's got it. Towards goal. It's Phoebes all by himself. The steal and the finish. As now Ultor and Phoebes both have made up for their mistakes. They've tied the game, and we've got ourselves a brand new ball game. Headed into the final minute here of Utopia Coliseum. Now the question is this the final minute of the Quinnipiac Bobcats season? Or will they be playing on Aquadome momentarily? We'll have to wait and see. The Bobcats are going to opt to try a passing play. Thwack could not beat out Ultor there, but the follow-up out of Pyro can. Pyro towards the middle of the field. Yags has got it. Yags opts to fake the first man out, gets it by the second man. Here's Phoebes, pop fly, looking to end the game and potentially the series, but it was knocked away. Good save by the Bobcats. And now Yags trying a pre-jump play with Ultor. They have been connecting all night. That is a rare moment they did not. And now they have to be careful. They've sent a lot of players forward. Redirect is high. Rebound is available towards goal. The Bobcats don't have enough players there as it does get fended off, and we have got ourselves golden goal. Next goal will win the game. The question is, does it win the series or does it force Game 5? This one popped up. Phoebes towards goal. It was actually wide open. It was a demo. Did not matter. The demoed player. There were not enough players forward to keep that ball up. Now the Bobcat dropped down right towards Pyro. Didn't quite have it though. As the save came out, now this one's going to be forged into the corner. Phoebes has got it. Looking for the redirect. Has got it towards the center of the field. Now Yags has spotted Ultor. Look out. He's dangerous off that backboard double. He does get a touch. Not enough though. And now Thwack is getting pre-jumped on. But Phoebes is touch towards goal ends up in Slugger's hands. Now a 50 drop to Ultor. He's got it again, looking for the redirect. Ball State are looking some kind of nasty here. Not a good omen if you are a Quinnipiac player or fan. Here comes Thwack now towards midfield. Pyro's there. Pyro to save the game in the series. Couldn't do it. It was saved away by Ball State. Now they'll opt to send it out to midfield. We play on here in overtime. The first minute has come and gone. Bonus Rocket League. As the only other overtime was Game 2, a game that it felt like Quinnipiac needed to win. This would be a less stressful situation without their series on the line if they had come out with a Game 2 dub. Instead, Ball State did get it. Now Ultor is going to get 50 there. Actually beat two members. Here it comes, a one-on-one. Phoebes to end the game in the series. It's off the bar. Air dribble bump play, not enough. Rebound from Ultor. There you go. As it's going to be Ball State on their way through. It was the play from Phoebes that ended up off the bar. Ultor the follow-up. And that is a big-time goal and a big-time win. The Cardinals are headed to the round of 32. It was an interesting series there, an interesting Game 4 for sure. As Ball State put themselves in a 2-0 hole, they dig right out of it, and they're able to win it in overtime. I feel like the trio, Yags, Phoebes, and Ultor take a bow. That was a great team effort out of the Cardinals, and they very deservingly will send themselves into the round of 32. As for Quinnipiac, season does come to a close there, but there were some great signs of life from this squad. Expect plenty more from that. And speaking of more, guys, don't go anywhere. I've got another series up next as the Clemson Tigers are taking on the UNC Wilmington Seahawks. It will be another battle, another best of 7 to try and save the season. But as for the season for Ball State, just another notch in the belt as they will continue and prolong their season, headed straight on into the tournament of 32. I'm going to try to get some replays going, and then we will get the intermission screen as soon as I can. Expect Clemson and UNC Wilmington to begin. So we will pop this. Got it. We are good to go. All right. Alrighty, guys, the replays are queued up and ready to go. So for the Cardinals, congratulations, GG's. I will be right back with another CCS Championship Best of 7. Clemson and UNC Wilmington, don't go anywhere. I'll see you guys in just a bit.